the ultimate summary of Harry Potter's first adventure. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the first book in J.K. Rowling's iconic series, is a magical blend of adventure, friendship, and self-discovery. It introduces us to a richly imagined world full of intriguing characters and sets the stage for the ultimate battle of good versus evil that will unfold throughout the series. The story focuses on Harry Potter, an orphaned boy who learns he is a wizard on his 11th birthday and follows his first year at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. The Boy Who Lived. The story begins on a seemingly ordinary night in Little Whinging, Surrey, at number 4, Privet Drive. The Dursleys, an overly normal family, are oblivious to the strange events happening around them. For the first time in years, wizards in the magical world are celebrating with public displays of magic and joy. The reason for this jubilation is the defeat of the dark wizard Lord Voldemort. Voldemort had terrorized the magical world for years with the help of his followers, the Death Eaters. Many fought against him, but few succeeded. On Halloween night, Voldemort killed James and Lily Potter, 2 members of the Resistance. However, when he turned his killing curse on their baby boy, Harry, the spell rebounded. Voldemort lost his physical form and fled into the shadows. Only Harry survived, left with a lightning-shaped scar on his forehead. Everyone in the magical community began calling him the Boy Who Lived. On this celebratory evening, Professor Albus Dumbledore, one of the most powerful and respected wizards, arrives at Privet Drive with a mysterious bundle. He is joined by Professor Minerva McGonagall, who had been watching the street in her animagus form, a cat, and Rubeus Hagrid, the enormous and gruff yet kind keeper of the Hogwarts grounds. They deliver baby Harry to his aunt and uncle, the Dursleys, believing it is safer for him to grow up away from the fame of the wizarding world. Dumbledore leaves a letter explaining Harry's significance and tragic past, hoping the Dursleys will raise him with love. Harry's difficult childhood. Harry's childhood is anything but magical. The Dursleys, who fear and despise anything out of the ordinary, treat Harry cruelly. He is forced to live in a small cupboard under the stairs, feed on scraps, and endure constant bullying from his cousin Dudley. Despite this, Harry is good-hearted and kind, though his circumstances leave him lonely and longing for escape. Strange and unexplainable events seem to follow Harry. These occurrences hint that Harry is far from ordinary, though he has no knowledge of his magical heritage. On one occasion, when Dudley is tormenting Harry at the zoo, Harry inadvertently frees a boa constrictor by vanishing the glass of its enclosure. While the snake slithers away, Harry is as shocked by his abilities as the Dursleys are horrified. Throughout his years with the Dursleys, Harry learns little about his parents. They tell him his mother and father died in a car crash, concealing the truth to suppress any inkling of magic within Harry. The arrival of the letters. On Harry's 11th birthday, everything changes. Letters begin arriving mysteriously, addressed to Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs. Uncle Vernon, trying to maintain control and prevent Harry from learning anything, destroys the letters before Harry can read them. The more Vernon resists, the more letters arrive, eventually pouring into the house through chimneys and windows. Desperate for escape, Vernon takes the family to hide in a remote shack on a stormy island. At the stroke of midnight on Harry's birthday, a dramatic visitor changes his life forever. Hagrid bursts into the shack, delivering Harry's acceptance letter to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Harry finally learns the truth about himself. He is a wizard, and not just any wizard, but the famous Boy Who Lived. Hagrid, who is appalled by the Dursleys' treatment of Harry, reveals his parents' bravery and their murder by Voldemort. He also explains the scar on Harry's forehead, a constant reminder of how Harry survived Voldemort's attack. The Dursleys are horrified by Hagrid's presence, particularly when he turns Dudley's backside into a pig's tail as retribution for their cruelty to Harry. Hagrid introduces Harry to the magical world for the first time, taking him under his wing. Diagon Alley and the Wizarding World. Hagrid takes Harry to Diagon Alley, a hidden shopping street in London where wizards buy their supplies. Harry is overwhelmed by the bustling magical world, filled with wonders and creatures he has never imagined. From spellbooks to robes, cauldrons and broomsticks, Harry gets a glimpse of his new life. At Gringotts Bank, run by sharp goblins, Harry learns that his parents left him a vault full of gold. This reassurance of financial independence is a pivotal moment for Harry and contrasts with his years of neglect. Hagrid also retrieves a mysterious item from a high-security vault, raising questions about its significance. One of the most memorable stops is Ollivander's, the wand shop. Harry learns that the wand chooses the wizard and is chosen by a wand sharing a core with Voldemort's wand. The connection sends a chill through Harry but highlights the mysterious bond between the two. To celebrate Harry's birthday, Hagrid gives him Hedwig, a snowy owl, not just as a pet, but as a loyal companion. By the time their shopping trip ends, Harry begins to believe he might finally belong in this magical world filled with awe and possibilities. Hogwarts Express and New Friendships. On September 1st, Harry heads to King's Cross Station for his train to Hogwarts. Confused about how to find platform 9 3/4, he meets the Weasley family, a warm and chaotic wizarding family. They help Harry access the hidden platform, and he begins his first journey on the Hogwarts Express. On the train, Harry befriends Ronald Weasley, Ron, the youngest son in a lively but financially struggling family. The two immediately bond over a shared sense of humour and excitement. Harry also meets Hermione Granger, a highly intelligent but slightly bossy Muggle-born witch eager to prove herself. Another important encounter is with Draco Malfoy, a spoiled and prejudiced boy from a prominent wizarding family. Draco offers Harry friendship, but his arrogance and disdain for inferiors cause Harry to reject him. The train ride solidifies the beginnings of strong friendships, especially with Ron and Hermione. It's an escape from Harry's old life and the start of thrilling new adventures. Arrival at Hogwarts and the sorting ceremony. Hogwarts, a magnificent castle brimming with magical secrets, is unlike anything Harry has seen. Upon arrival, the first-year students are introduced to the sorting hat, a sentient magical hat that assigns students to one of 4 houses: Gryffindor, Bravery, Ravenclaw, Wisdom, Hufflepuff, Loyalty, or Slytherin, Ambition. Harry dreads being placed in Slytherin after a warning from Ron about the house's association with dark wizards. When the sorting hat is placed on Harry's head, it considers putting him in Slytherin due to his potential for greatness. However, Harry asks to be placed in Gryffindor, where he feels he will fit in better. The hat listens, and Harry joins Ron, Hermione, and others in Gryffindor. The sorting ceremony marks Harry's first true sense of belonging, but it also teases his complex connection with Voldemort and the qualities they share. Life at Hogwarts. Classes at Hogwarts are both exciting and challenging. Harry attends lessons in potions, transfiguration, charms, and defense against the dark arts, among others. He discovers the strict but fair Professor McGonagall, the cheerful Professor Flitwick, and the mysterious and seemingly hostile Professor Snape. Snape, the potions master, singles Harry out for criticism, igniting a mutual dislike. Despite Snape's disdain, Harry thrives in his own way, particularly excelling in flying lessons where he is discovered by McGonagall as a natural Quidditch player. Harry also begins unravelling the mysteries of Hogwarts. He learns about the enchanted ceilings, moving staircases and roaming ghosts like nearly headless Nick. However, the most important discovery comes when Harry, Ron, and Hermione stumble upon Fluffy, a massive 3-headed dog guarding a trapdoor on the forbidden 3rd floor. Their curiosity is piqued when they overhear staff members discussing the Sorcerer's Stone, a magical object rumoured to grant immortality. Continuation of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Expanded summary. Further mysteries and suspicious events. Hogwarts proves to be a place of constant discovery for Harry and his friends. The magical castle, with its secret passageways and moving staircases, feels alive with mystery. But it's not just the building's quirks that intrigue the trio. Harry, Ron, and Hermione start noticing peculiar events that seem tied to the Sorcerer's Stone, the legendary object capable of producing the elixir of life and turning any metal into pure gold. Fluffy, the three-headed dog, is the first clue they stumble upon. Guarding a trapdoor on the third-floor corridor, Fluffy is terrifying yet fascinating. The encounter raises questions about what the creature could be protecting. Hagrid, though tight-lipped, confirms that Fluffy belongs to him and hints that what lies beneath the trapdoor is extremely valuable and secret. Meanwhile, Professor Snape's behaviour grows increasingly suspicious. During a Quidditch match, Harry's broomstick becomes uncontrollable, nearly throwing him off mid-air. Hermione notices Snape muttering incantations while maintaining intense eye contact with Harry's broom. Acting quickly, Hermione sets Snape's robes on fire, distracting him and allowing Harry to regain control. This incident deepens their belief that Snape is involved in a sinister plot to steal the Sorcerer's Stone. Additionally, Hagrid accidentally reveals another tidbit of information. The stone was transported from Gringotts Bank just before a mysterious break-in occurred at the vault that originally housed it. This reinforces the trio's growing suspicion that someone at Hogwarts is after the stone. Christmas at Hogwarts. For Harry, Christmas at Hogwarts is pure magic, both literally and figuratively. Where the Dursleys had always ignored him during the holidays, Hogwarts offers warmth, joy, and traditions like decorating an enormous Christmas tree in the Great Hall. One of the holiday highlights is the arrival of Harry's first meaningful Christmas gift, an item that becomes iconic throughout the series, the invisibility cloak. Delivered anonymously but with a note that reads, "Use it well," the cloak allows Harry to become completely invisible. He learns that the cloak once belonged to his father, strengthening his connection to his own history. Testing the cloak's powers, Harry sneaks out at night to explore the castle. During one such adventure, he stumbles upon the Mirror of Erised, a magical artifact that shows the viewer their deepest desires. When Harry looks into the mirror, he doesn't see fame or power but his parents, James and Lily, smiling at him. Overwhelmed by both joy and sadness, Harry returns to the mirror several times. Dumbledore eventually finds Harry and gently explains the dangers of the mirror, warning him not to lose himself in its illusions. Uncovering the truth about the stone. The trio grows increasingly determined to protect the Sorcerer's Stone. They piece together clues through a series of encounters. More slip-ups from Hagrid. During a visit to Hagrid's hut, the trio learns about Nicholas Flamel, the alchemist who created the Sorcerer's Stone. Hermione, using her encyclopedic knowledge and love for books, discovers that Flamel has been alive for centuries thanks to the elixir of life. With this information, they confirm that the stone is what Fluffy was guarding and that it's being hidden at Hogwarts to protect it from theft. Hagrid's dragon. Hagrid's love for magical creatures lands him in trouble when he wins a dragon egg from a mysterious cloaked stranger in a card game. The egg hatches into a Norwegian ridgeback dragon, which Hagrid names Norbert. However, raising a dragon is illegal and highly dangerous. While helping Hagrid deal with the dragon, Harry and his friends notice that the stranger who gave Hagrid the egg asked unusual questions about Fluffy. This revelation strengthens their belief that someone is plotting to steal the stone. Tensions with Draco. Draco Malfoy continues to antagonize Harry and his friends, meddling in their attempts to investigate the stone. However, his arrogance often backfires, as when he tries to expose Hagrid for keeping a dragon, but ends up getting punished along with the trio for being out of bed after hours. Venture to the Forbidden Forest. During their detention for rule-breaking, Harry, Hermione, Neville and Malfoy are assigned to accompany Hagrid on a nighttime mission in the Forbidden Forest. The forest is a dark and foreboding place, teeming with magical creatures and unknown dangers. While searching for an injured unicorn, the group stumbles upon a terrifying scene. A hooded figure is drinking the unicorn's blood, a substance that is cursed, yet grants temporary life to those near death. The figure attacks Harry, sending a jolt of pain through his lightning-shaped scar. Before it can harm him further, a centaur named Firenze rescues Harry and carries him to safety. Firenze explains that unicorn blood can sustain life, but at a great cost, as it curses the drinker. He also hints that the hooded figure is Voldemort, weakened and searching for ways to regain power. The encounter solidifies Harry's resolve to protect the stone. He now understands the stakes if Voldemort returns to full strength. Breaking the rules to save the stone. The trio realizes that the time to act is now. Matters come to a head when Hagrid unwittingly reveals the final piece of information to a disguised stranger. Fluffy, the three-headed dog, can be subdued by playing music. Armed with this knowledge, Harry, Ron and Hermione are convinced that the stone is in immediate danger. Late one night, they decide to go through the trapdoor themselves to safeguard the stone, despite the enormous risks and the certainty of breaking countless school rules. Each of their skills comes into play as they face a series of magical challenges. Fluffy and the trapdoor. They lull Fluffy to sleep using a flute Hagrid gave Harry. They slip past the enormous dog and descend through the trapdoor into the unknown. Devil's Snare. They land in a patch of Devil's Snare, a magical plant that ensnares and suffocates its victims. Hermione, with her quick thinking and knowledge of herbology, uses a light spell to subdue the plant and free her friends. The Flying Keys. Next, they enter a room filled with enchanted, flying keys. Harry's skills as a seeker on the Quidditch team prove invaluable as he mounts a broom and captures the correct key to unlock the next door. Wizard's Chess. The trio encounters a life-sized game of Wizard's Chess, where the pieces are enchanted to move and fight. Ron takes command of the game, sacrificing himself as a piece in a strategic move that allows Harry and Hermione to proceed. This act of bravery underscores Ron's loyalty and courage. The Logic Puzzle. Hermione's intellect shines in a room containing a logic puzzle involving various potions. By carefully analysing the clues, she determines which potion will allow Harry to move forward. Hermione stays behind to alert Dumbledore while Harry moves on alone. The confrontation with Voldemort. Harry enters the final chamber expecting to meet Snape. Instead, he finds Professor Quirrell, the timid defense against the dark arts teacher, standing in front of the mirror of Erised. Quirrell, previously dismissed as harmless, is revealed to be working for Voldemort. To Harry's horror, Voldemort's disembodied presence has been living on the back of Quirrell's head, concealed beneath a turban. Voldemort, through Quirrell, demands Harry retrieve the Sorcerer's Stone from the mirror. When Harry looks into the mirror, he sees himself holding the stone and feels it magically transfer to his pocket. Refusing to hand it over, Harry fights against Quirrell, whose touch burns him due to the magical protection left by Harry's mother's sacrificial love. The battle ends with Voldemort abandoning Quirrell's dying body and fleeing in spirit form. Harry loses consciousness and later wakes up in the hospital wing, where Dumbledore explains the events. Dumbledore reveals that the stone has been destroyed to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. He also shares the truth about Harry's mother's sacrifice, which left Harry protected by an ancient and powerful magic. The return to the Muggle world. Though Voldemort has been thwarted, Dumbledore warns Harry that he has not gone for good. However, Harry is heartened by the knowledge that he and his friends have triumphed in their first major test of courage. At the end-of-year feast, Gryffindor earns the House Cup after Dumbledore awards last-minute points to Harry, Ron, Hermione, and even Neville for their bravery in protecting the stone. The festivities highlight the bonds Harry has formed and the home he has found at Hogwarts. As the summer holidays begin, Harry returns to the Dursleys, no longer the helpless boy they once tormented. He now carries the knowledge that he belongs to a magical world beyond their control and that he is destined for great things. Themes and final reflections. The story of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is one of discovery, friendship, and moral courage. Rowling masterfully interweaves themes of love and sacrifice, showing how even basic human values can be powerful forms of magic. Harry's first year at Hogwarts is a tale of self-discovery, and it sets the stage for the larger battles he will face in the years to come. The novel leaves readers eager to follow Harry as he continues to grow into the hero destined to confront the darkest forces of his world.